Welcome to another study of the life of Christ. Today is lesson 22. There's some argument over that. We are talking about Jesus revealing his plan, his master plan. Jesus has chosen the 12 disciples, who he named apostles. 12 out of his many. How many disciples did we mention he might have had at this time?
120.
Like 120, correct. And now he has chosen 12 of them, named them to be his special apostles, given them a special leadership role. And now he's revealing his plan. So open up in your Harmony to page 73. There's actually a lot, because the interesting thing that we're kind of covering now is the Sermon on the Mount, which is Jesus's big sermon. But the different Gospels handle it differently. The way Matthew does it is likely not one giant sermon, what he has. He has down probably a collection of the many different sermons Jesus would have said in the presence of people. And so it's super long, but it's probably not one big sermon. Luke's is shorter and more likely maybe the sermon that was given at that time. Luke is more chronological, so that's what we're kind of following. And it was different ways to handle this, but that's why you'll see Matthew has much more text for this Sermon on the Mount than Luke does, because he likely added in, not added in his own words, but added in other messages Jesus gave and put it as a collection of Jesus' sermons, if that makes sense. So, Luke 6, 27 to 7:10, and Matthew 8, 5 through 13, a large span in your Harmony. Again, we are not as focused on what Jesus taught. We are focused more in this series on what Jesus did. So we're not going to dig into his sermon as much. We're going to talk about why he said some of the things he said and who his audience was and what his goals and purpose and methods were, which is what we've kind of focused on this whole time. So where are they? They are at a mountain near the Sea of Capernaum, which is also the Sea of Galilee.
There's a mountain on the map. Do you want me to pick that one?
It's actually the other mountain, the one there. And it's called, on that map, it's called the Mountain of Beatitudes. So Jesus is there. There's also a big crowd, like we saw last time. So this is the second half of last time. We're starting in the same spot. But the direct audience is his disciples. So he is teaching his disciples. The crowds are listening into this, but they are dialed in. Jesus is dialed into teaching his disciples, whom he just called 12 of them to be apostles. So, our main audience today is Jesus, the 12, and then later we're going to see an illustration of what Jesus is talking about in leadership and why he chose the 12 in a Roman centurion. So this is one of the first, not the first, wasn't there another Gentile guy? I don't know, one of the first Gentiles that Jesus has interacted with, the Roman centurion. Okay, so Jesus is teaching the disciples more. This is his method. This is his new strategy or his plan that we're talking about, and it's a backwards plan. This is unlike any other leadership model you've ever heard of because it's upside down. Here it is, Luke 6:27. Follow along. If you can be in your Bible, Luke 6:27, or in the Harmony, page 73. Down at the bottom, we're going to read the Luke one like I talked about because it's more focused. It's the little nudge. No, it's down in the bottom corner.
This one right here?
Yeah, see this? See how the Harmony, all the stuff Matthew has, and a little bit of Luke? This is what we talked about. Matthew's is likely a collection of sermons. Luke is probably just saying what Jesus said at this time. So, but I tell you who hear me, love your enemies. What? Do good to those who hate you. What? Bless those who curse you. What? Pray for those who mistreat you. What? This doesn't make any sense, Jake. Why would you do that? Why would you be nice to mean people? Love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. Listen to this. If someone strikes you on the cheek, hit them back, right?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
What?
Actually, happens in the
No.
That's what it says.
Turn to him your other cheek also. If someone steals your coat,
slap him.
do not stop him from taking your tunic.
What?
Give him your sweatshirt too. Give to everyone who asks you. And if anyone who takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back.
What? I literally
What?
did this this
So
morning.
my sister takes my favorite stuffed animal. So can I ask for it back?
You tell me.
For it, but you can't demand.
You tell me. Do not demand it back.
So the trick is, I take the stuff and they give me more.
Why is Jesus
That's why I still think.
Why is Jesus telling his disciples this?
Act like you're about to step on their pillow.
Why would Jesus say this weird upside down stuff?
I don't know.
And it's right.
Because it's right?
I do.
Because people make more
Does
stuff
this make
than
any
what-
sense? Does anyone else talk like this?
No.
No. What?
What does the Old Testament actually have a policy of?
An
An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if your sister takes your stuffed animal, you can go take her stuffed animal.
I know, I did that.
See, I do that and then you get mad.
Yeah, because Jesus gave us a better way.
All right.
Jesus says, you've heard it said, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, but I tell you.
Yep.
Don't spoil.
Listen to this. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? And if even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do that. If you lend to those whom you expect repayment, what credit that is to you? Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting repaid in full. But love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, because you'll be sons of the Most High, because he is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. So Jesus has gathered up his leaders, his awesome 12, like these are the elite squad, and he's like, all right, guys, here's the huddle, here's the plan, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be nice to the mean people. We're gonna love our enemies. We're gonna do everything backwards than you want to do and upside down. This is the plan. Sounds like a great plan, huh? We're gonna take over the world by losing our stuff to mean people and getting slapped in both cheeks. Does this sound like a great leadership plan, Addie?
Why does it? The Bible say God does not show favoritism, but then God chose, or Jesus chose 12 of his favorite disciples.
Do you think God never chooses leaders?
I don't think
guess
it's
that's
favoritism
the
in there.
He chose the favorite.
Yeah.
It's Trump's
That
favorite.
word should not have been used.
Did I say a favorite?
No, you said elites.
Yeah, I said elite. Yeah, these are leaders. God chooses.
But also, did he really choose the best guys in worldly standards? No.
No.
He
He
didn't.
chose Matthew. That was a weird choice. He chose Judas. That was a very weird choice.
So God chooses whom he chooses.
Yeah.
And he uses.
So,
He's a treasurer.
Jesus is continuing to teach his disciples, set them up to change the world. Remember, where are we at in Jesus' 3 years of ministry?
The end.
Second half.
We got about a year left, right? Just about a year left. He's now chosen his 12. Jesus' whole big plan was not to set up a great kingdom with him on the top and like him be ruling on earth and like everything to be about him. He knew he had a short time on earth, that he was going to raise up leaders that were going to change the world. And this was the master plan, to change the world by sacrificing, by doing things for people who don't deserve it. What is it starting to sound like? Giving mercy to those who don't deserve it.
Jesus.
It sounds like Jesus. Yes. What did Jesus come on earth to do? to save the good people?
Yes.
He's like, I'm gonna look for all the really nice people and save them.
That's like giving medicine to those who are healthy.
Ooh,
Oh.
yes, what did we just hear about? Jesus did not come to the healthy, but to the sick, right? He's came to those who don't deserve it, those who need it. Everyone desperately needs it, but those who realize they need it are the only ones who can receive it. And he came to those who don't deserve it, right? Your reward will be great. You'll be sons of the Most High, because this is God's character. He is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. God is a God of mercy. God is a God of grace. He gives to those who don't deserve it. He gives forgiveness and eternal life to those who have rejected him. And he came while we were still sinners. Christ died for the ungodly, right? Like, these are people who didn't deserve it. So it starts to make sense that Jesus is establishing leadership models, a plan that is just like who he is and just like what he came to do. He wants his disciples to be little Christs. What does little Christ mean? Christians. He wants them to emulate what he came to do. And the leadership plan to change the world is upside down. It's giving to those who don't deserve. It's being merciful, giving grace to those
Giving generously
who don't deserve it. So, love your enemies. Then there's more. So, big idea, love your enemies from that. Let's continue. So it's kind of hard to follow here. We're kind of skipping. So if you're in your harmony, right, we see a lot more of Matthew's teaching. I'm not saying this is bad. This is actually really good stuff, but it's probably a collection of sermon, but we're trying to follow the track of what Jesus was teaching his disciples at this time. So flip to page 76 in your harmony. If you're following along in Luke, no problem at all. All right, now he starts talking about something else. Luke 6:37. Page 76 in the harmony. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. So, this is also backwards. This is also upside down. He's told them this parable. Can a blind man lead a blind man? Will they both not fall into a pit? A student is not above his teacher, but everyone who's fully trained will be like his teacher. What is Jesus wanting to do? Train his disciples to be like him. So the student will become his teacher. Are the disciples greater than Jesus? No. But what is Jesus setting them out to do?
Be like him.
Be like him. Do his work. Exactly. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, Brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when you yourself fail to see the plank in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take out the plank of your own eye, then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. So as Jesus is calling out these leaders, maybe Addie, this might help you a little bit, if you're thinking like, why did Jesus pick favorites? Is he putting these 12 to be like the best in charge of everybody else? He's kind of saying, hey, you will become like your teacher, but you're not greater than anyone. Like, you need to be servant leaders. You need to not judge others and give forgiveness just like God does. Do not condemn, forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you, right? Like, this is another model of not judging others and instead offering the forgiveness of God to others and being generous with that, right? So, does that help a little bit? This model that Jesus is teaching is not like the leader is in charge, everyone obeys him, and everyone does what the leader says. All right, you 12 disciples, now you're in charge of everybody else. Now lord it over them and tell everyone what you want them to do.
Do you guys remember what the angel of the Lord said to Paul on the road to Damascus?
Yeah.
I will show you how much you will something for my name.
Suffer.
Suffer. Right? So was Paul the right choice and actually excellent and actually the best? Yes. But what did God call him to do?
Suffer.
Suffer. So yes, God picked Paul, but it's not the favoritism or the elite that the world thinks.
Yeah.
It's servant leadership.
Okay, so that's the second principle. First principle was love your enemies. Second was do not judge others. The next principle, we're just following along in Luke. Luke 43. No good tree bears bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit. Each tree is recognized by its own fruit. People do not pick figs from thorn bushes or grapes from briars. The good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and the evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For out of the overflow of his heart the mouth speaks. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I say? So, when he's given another principle to his disciples of how do you know what's in a man's heart? How do you know what's in a person's heart? You observe what?
What they do and
What they
say.
What they say.
What their things look like. Like if they have an armory in their house, then they might be bad, or they might just be paranoid.
Okay.
Right, either that.
Or if they have a cake room, then you're like, okay, this guy might like to eat a lot.
In that verse says, out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks.
So, how do we,
It's like once a week.
can we see people's hearts?
Well, if
If
we
we
take
cut
them
them
out.
open,
Okay.
Not knowing the
What does
physical
Brian
heart.
mean? What does Brian mean?
Do we know what's in a person, like their motivations and their desires? Do we know what's truly inside of them?
No.
Not until we ask them.
What can we observe?
What they actually do.
What they say, what they do, right? So by those things, it's not a direct correlation, right? All the time, like someone might make a mistake and say something they shouldn't say or do something they shouldn't do. We do that all the time. But when you get to know someone, you see trends, you see patterns in their lives, and we start to see, and even the things that slip up, like those are indicators too of what's in a person's heart. And we know none of our hearts are perfectly good and evil, or perfectly good. They are evil. We all have evil in us. But we can observe what they do, and we will know people's hearts by what they do. We can know what kind of tree it is by the fruit. We see apples on an apple tree, and we're like, or we see apples on a tree, and we know it's an apple tree. We're not like, that's an orange tree. Right? So we know people by their fruit. That's another leadership.
Or if you have a tree
Principle.
that never bears fruit, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Also, you could be doing
Unless
nothing.
you taste it.
All right, there's one more leadership principle he's teaching, and that's in 47. I will show you what he is like who comes to me and hears my words and puts them into practice. So, this is what someone looks like who listens to Jesus and hears his words and puts them into practice. He is like a man building a house who dug down deep and laid the foundation on a rock. When a flood came, the torrent struck the house, but could not shake it, because it was well built. But the one who hears my words and does not put them into practice is like a man who built a house on the ground without a foundation. The moment the torrent struck the house, it collapsed, and its destruction was complete. What are the difference between these two examples? Kai.
A house and not a house.
Well, they're both houses, but when the storm comes, they reveal something's different. Jake?
The foundation, like in the song Jesus is the Rock, that's a foundation because the guy put his
Wise man built his house upon the rock. That song?
Yeah.
Yes.
kind of.
What's more work, to build a deep down foundation or just to build a pretty house on?
it's like Three Little Pigs.
Yeah. Well,
No,
that's
it's like the Ebenezer Gaga Ball pit. When they first put it down, they just threw the little tiles over the grass. And I was like, you guys have got to put sand and gravel down. This will not last. So our Gaga Ball pit had to get completely torn up and redone because they didn't have it put down right. I'm like, literally, people, foundation.
Yeah.
It's just like
They didn't
our
Is that what it's
honestly
called?
want
Yeah, Gaga Ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So. Our foundation's pretty. Are they impressive? Like, wow, look at that guy's foundation.
Yes.
Sometimes they can.
No, most of it's under the ground. It's not pretty, but it's so important. You can build a really fancy house, but if you don't put it on a good solid foundation, which is a lot of work, right? To dig to the bedrock, to lay down the right materials, to pour the forms and the concrete and all that. It's not pretty, it's not impressive, but a house built on it's so necessary for a house to last. The pretty part, wow, look at the ceilings, look at the windows, look at the I don't know, look at the coffee bar, like, you know, like all the things in the house, the lights that we like, you know, that we enjoy, are held up by that foundation. So why is Jesus saying this? Is he giving building techniques or something else?
Yes.
He's giving too.
Yes.
So I just had an idea. So, like, the foolish man and the good man. So the good man had a great house built on the rock,
Yeah.
and he had tons of nice things because he didn't have to keep rebuilding it. So his house was huge. He kept rebuilding foundation because he was believing more and more, and he was building it bigger.
It doesn't say that, but yes, maybe.
But the foolish man kept building a huge, good house without a foundation, and then it kept getting washed over, and in real life that would be because he had a bad time, like maybe you lost your wife or something bad happened.
I think
So
we
the
can see
flood
that in
would be the
people's
bad
lives. They may have something good and then they lose it and then they have to rebuild it and then like over and over and they don't get ahead and they don't build anything worthwhile. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, so why is Jesus teaching this? What does he want his disciples to know from this?
To build on firm foundation, build on Jesus.
Build on Jesus, build a firm
They
foundation.
can be there.
Asher?
Apply his techniques in order for it to actually work.
Yes, and a lot of it's hard work, and a lot of it's below the surface, right? People can start really cool, impressive, even ministries, things that look really cool, big events, really, really impressive stuff. But if it's not grounded in a lot of prayer and spiritual life, right? Like some people can be like, I'm gonna do this awesome thing in ministry and missions. Support me, give me lots of money, and I'll build this awesome thing. But it often, if the person doesn't have a strong foundation, a calling from the Lord, study of the Bible, prayer, all these things that are below the surface that aren't obvious to those around someone immediately, they can have a really impressive, fancy thing, but it can fall apart because it doesn't have a good foundation in these disciplines. What do we see Jesus doing a lot of that we talked about? A lot of times, prayer. He's going away to silent places. That's not fancy ministry. He's praying, and God is leading him. That first example at Peter's house, the second fishing trip we were on, Jesus is doing really impressive ministry, healing lots of people. He late into the night, he goes away in the next morning to pray, and then the disciples are like, there's a bunch more people who want to see you, and he's like, no, we're going to move on. We're going to go somewhere else. He wasn't building a really fancy, impressive ministry. He was being led by the Lord exactly what the Lord wanted him to do. Okay, so that's the next principle, the last principle from this, to build on a firm foundation. Okay, now they go back to Capernaum. They leave that mountain.
Or do we move them?
Sure, move them to Capernaum. So Luke 7, 1 through 10, when Jesus had finished saying all these things in the hearing of the people, he entered Capernaum. So now, this story is, I'm tying this story to this because I think it's an example, and Jesus is showing some leadership principles here. We're running out of time though.
Yeah, you are.
That a centurion's servant whom the master valued highly was sick and about to die. The centurion heard of Jesus and sent some elders of the Jews to him, asking him to come and heal his servant. When they came to Jesus, they pleaded earnestly with him, "This man deserves you to do this because he loves our nation and has built our synagogue." So Jesus went with them. He was not far from the house when the centurion sent friends to him. "Lord, do not trouble yourself, for I do not deserve you to have you come under my roof." Why is the centurion saying this? He's not Jewish, okay? So I think first of all, he's humble, and he's going to reveal something else. This is why I did not even consider myself worthy to come to you. So this is a very important Roman centurion, okay? Centurions are in charge of thousands, or hundreds at least. And this guy is going to reveal that he's also a very humble servant leader. He says, "But say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I myself am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. I tell this one, go, and he goes, and that one, come, and he comes. I say to my servant, do this, and he does it." Okay? So this Gentile Roman centurion, who are the Romans? Are they friends with the Jews?
No.
What are they?
Oppressors.
Enemies. What did Jesus start it by talking about? How do we treat our enemies?
Loving.
Love our enemies, okay? Now it's not perfect because this centurion was a friend of the Jews and he was kind to the Jews. But in general, Jesus could have been like, I'm not going to heal a Roman. He's our enemy, right? Jesus, in doing this, I think is reflecting what he's already taught on to love your enemies. Also, this man is reflecting some of Jesus' principles in his humility and also his understanding of authority, right? He says, go and do this. The soldier goes and comes because this centurion is a man with authority. He's in charge of other people. It says, when Jesus heard this, he was amazed at him, and turning to the crowd following him, he said, I tell you, I have not found such a great faith, even in Israel. And then it says, the man who had been sent returned to the house and found the servant well. So this is just a cool story, a cool illustration. I tagged it onto here because I think it illustrates the lessons Jesus is talking about loving your enemies, do not judge other, you know a tree by its fruit, and to build a firm foundation. Some of those things are emulated in this Roman centurion who could be an enemy of God, or could be an enemy of Jesus, an enemy of the Jews, and he's choosing to heal his servant and go with him. And then this man is showing humble servant leadership. He's not, also as a Roman centurion, he could have arrested Jesus and forced him to heal his servant. That would have been weird. But think about the authority he has, and said he's being a servant leader, which I think is cool. And Jesus notices his great faith, and also seeing that it's like that other guy who's like, you can heal him from a distance. It's kind of the same thing. Okay, how did Jesus do this? What was his method? Oh, it's on the board.
Did he teach that he shows to love better?
Jesus teaches and
Did you say Santa's out of his knee?
Jesus teaches and then shows love to an enemy. So Jesus' master plan and how to change the world. Is this a traditional plan?
Sure.
Is this like, be a strong leader, demand perfection, tell everyone what to do, create good structures and organizations so that everyone can maximize their potential, only choose other qualified good people, only work with those who will bring you assets? I don't know, like these business leadership principles? No. Love your enemies, give to those who take from you. This is upside down. So this is what Jessica's favorite thing is. The upside down kingdom. She has a shirt.
Up downside, you mean?
Up downside kingdom.
It says.
What is the upside down kingdom?
No, up downside.
What is it? What does that mean?
Everything's backwards.
First shall be last and last.
The first shall be last, the last shall be first. Love your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you. Turn the other cheek. All these things are upside down. What else is upside down?
Wait, why would we turn the other cheek? Never mind.
We serve others who don't love us. What? Because God did this, right? Did God come to save people who were really nice and people who, I don't know, were like really good people? Did Jesus come to save the really good people?
Yeah.
The ones who helped save.
No!
He saved everyone! Yeah, he saves everyone!
No one's good. No one deserves it. And in fact, what did we learn about Jesus going to Matthew, the tax collectors and sinners and prostitutes' house?
But they're all sinners.
But what is the difference of those sinners?
They're enemies.
They're public sinners.
They knew they were sinners. All the righteous people were like, we're good enough. We don't need you, Jesus. We do enough good. People who think they're good enough can't receive Jesus' forgiveness because they don't think they need it. The
ABCs of the gospel.
the healthy-
Admit you're a sinner.
The healthy don't need a doctor, right? Only the sick do. People who, you're right, everyone, I know all you're saying, everyone is a sinner. Everyone needs forgiveness.
predestination?
But Jesus came to save those who realize they're sick, right? Realize, the people who realize they're sinners. Jesus can't save non-sinners. Because they have nothing to be saved from, right?
Well, they do.
I know, they do, but they don't realize it, right? So he can only save sinners. Because that's who he came to save, is sinners. Okay, so it's upside down. Do anyone who received Jesus' forgiveness deserve it?
Yeah, wait,
No. That's another reason it's upside down. He didn't come to save the nice people who did all the good things and impressed Jesus with their good works. Like he came to save the sinners. Okay, it's
I
the
have two
upside down
fill in the
kingdom.
blanks.
All right, Jesus' plan to change the world is to blank
Love.
our enemies. Kill!
Yes.
Kill the enemies!
Like the Crusades.
All right,
Maybe
every
we do that with the Iranians.
I almost wrote.
Christianity is upside down.
Oh, that's what it's from.
Every other religion, how do you get to heaven?
Works.
You do the good things. How do you get to heaven with Christianity?
Believe in God.
Who did the good things?
Jesus.
Jesus. He gives forgiveness. How much good things do you have to do to receive that forgiveness?
1.
No.
Respond in faith. That's all it takes.
Yes.
Respond.
Yeah,
Faith.
1. Responding to
That's not
faith.
an act. It's
Yeah, it
saving.
is.
No. So this is why Christianity is unlike any other religion. Every other religion has a whole set of rules, a lot of stuff you got to do. You know, you got to do your 5 pillars of Islam, your trips to Mecca, and your all the things, and pray 5 times a day, and go to the thing, and do the stuff, and do enough good works. I mean, karma, like, right? What is
That was bad. You're like,
what is karma?
you get what you did.
What?
Your car is a ball.
And you don't.
Isaac, turn around.
You gotta do good things and good things will happen to you, right? Yeah. What is the Buddhism thing? They put your heart on the scale and it has to be lighter than a feather, right? You have to, your good things, every other religion is a scale, right? Lock in, guys, we're almost done.
Isaac, turn around. 4 on the floor.
Every other religion is a scale. Do more good than bad things at some level, right? And that religion tells you the good things and the bad things. You got to obey them. You got to do all the things they say. Christianity is not like that. It's upside down. Jesus did the good things. Only Jesus could live the perfect life. The standard is perfection. And you get Jesus' perfection by believing in him. That's why it's upside down. It's backwards. It's not for the good people. It's for sinners. I know, no one's good. But that's the point. All right. Jesus' plan to change the world is to love our enemies. All right? What for us? What do we learn from this?
We should love our enemies.
We should love our
We
enemies.
should love our families.
Persecute our enemies.
Even sinners love their families. Everybody loves their family. Everyone loves the people who are nice to them.
What? Our family's not nice. Yeah, what if our family
Then they're your enemies. You should love your enemies.
Enemies.
Okay. Every person you share the gospel with is your enemy.
What?
Yes.
If I share the gospel, Georgia is not my enemy?
Yeah, they're enemies of God.
No, but Georgia is not Christian.
If they're not Christians, they're enemies of God.
Georgia is Christian.
So we have to love
It's enemy of God.
Addie. If they're not Christians, they're enemies of God. They don't have forgiveness. They're sinners. So we have to love our enemies in order to share the gospel with them. The people who don't deserve it, the people who don't like it, don't like us, the people who aren't nice. All the people Jesus went to in the 6 fishing expeditions, the untouchables, the unclean, the sinners, his mother-in-law, all those people, that's the kingdom, that's building the kingdom with the unlikely people. Jesus chose 12 unlikely people. Do you think there was 120 disciples there? Do you think some of them were like, why did you choose that guy?
Yeah, like
Yeah, for
Judas.
real.
Do you think there was some dissension there? Very possible. What if like one guy was a really good public speaker and he didn't get chosen? But I'm really good at stuff.
But I really
It was probably irrational. Choosing Matthew, all that stuff. All right, that's the upside down kingdom. That's Jesus' plan to change the world. It's backwards. It doesn't make sense, and that's how God works. That's why it's awesome.
Can you play that